Bachelor Father. Starring John Forsythe.
There was a time in my life when PTA was just one of those combination of letters like FHA and FCC. But a lecture I attended called Your Teenage Child, The Dangerous Years, struck home with me. I left that meeting determined to make Kelly's life a symphony of regulated activity.
Very good, Niece Kelly. We now have only air-conditioned lampshade in neighborhood.
Peter, don't tell Uncle Bentley, will you?
We'll carry secret to grave with me. Not ready for grave yet.
Why do I have to take fencing anyway?
Maybe come in handy after you marry. You want to make shish kebab for a husband.
I could be down at the gym playing basketball.
Basketball no help after you marry?
I could even be doing my homework. I think I will.
Better wait till Uncle Bentley come home. You know he like to help you.
I know. But it's got me a little confused. What's he trying to do?
Prove that he love you. Make sure you're not teenage rebel.
Peter, I know he loves me. But it all makes me feel so helpless.
If he don't do things for you, he feel helpless.
Hi.
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 Someday somebody say hello and ruin whole conversation.
Hey, what you got there, Kelly? Hey, this is cool. Be great for making shish kebab.
I now pronounce you man and wife.
I could be like that fellow on television.
Use the same hoe as Niece Kelly, only one to a customer.
Come over to Harvey's with me tonight? It's going to be a big evening.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. We'll think of something.
I can't. I have to do my homework.
Well, that only takes an hour.
2 hours. Uncle Bentley helps me.
Well, you're coming to Ginger's party with me Saturday night, aren't you? Been practicing some new dance steps.
I can't. Uncle Bentley's taking me to a travelogue at the university. Across Africa by helicopter.
Gosh, Kelly, if you don't go, then I won't go either. You're the only girl I can dance with. I keep stepping on everybody else's feet.
Well, Howard, you'll just have to learn to get along without me. At least for a while.
Well, couldn't you go to the university some other night? Maybe if I talk to your uncle.
Hi, darling. Hello, Howard.
Mr. Gregg, man to man, can I ask you something?
Man to man, Howard, fire away.
Well, man to man, if there was a certain girl who was the only girl you could dance with, would you let Africa stand in your way?
Man to man, Howard, if I knew what you were talking about, no, I wouldn't let it stand in my way. Sure.
Not even by helicopter?
Not even by helicopter. Someday I'm going to retain a cryptographer and break that boy's code. Darling, you have any idea what he was talking about?
I think he was talking about Ginger's party.
Oh, of course. How could I fail to see that? You want to go?
No, of course not. I'd much rather see Africa by helicopter.
Good. Darling, you're doing very nicely. But look, just a couple of things. Now, fencing, see, it's all balance. You know, of course, that I did a little bit of this in my time. Now, notice the wrist and the forearm parallel to the ground, see? Then you go, lunge, see?
Clear spot right here.
Thank you.
Young lady.
The only young lady I'm concerned with right now is Kelly. It's important I spend as much time with her as possible.
Possible you overdo it.
Now, Peter, you know the teenage kids need all the time you can give them. Now, look at all the juvenile delinquency today.
Niece Kelly not juvenile delinquent.
Nobody said she was. All I said... What are you doing?
Solve algebra problem.
With that thing?
This Chinese abacus. Solve all problems. Better than fencing and across Africa by helicopter.
I don't know. Maybe you don't understand the enormity of a parent's responsibility today, but I do. Gotta take an active interest in the child. Go places with her. Help her. These are the formative years for Kelly.
You say X equal 25 times Y?
No, 27. And will you stop fiddling with that Oriental univac? This is important. The whole thing was brought sharply into focus for me the other night at that PTA meeting. Do you know that a guest speaker stated unequivocally...
Answer X equal 2.
What?
Answer X equal 2.
X equal 2. X equal 2. It's ridiculous. How are we coming along, honey?
Well, I worked out the answer to that problem, Uncle Bentley, and it checks with the back of the book.
Good. What is it?
X equals 2.
Those are the symptoms, all right. You have to be patient. He's going through a phase.
A phase? It's getting so I can't even walk around the block by myself.
They get restless. I had an awful lot of trouble with my mother when she was younger.
You did?
Out of a clear sky, she started treating me like a child. Fortunately, she began to breed tropical fish and forgot all about me.
Maybe I should get Uncle Bentley some tropical fish.
No, the trouble with you is you're too normal. You don't give him enough to worry about.
There he is. Ginger, you know, sometimes I think Uncle Bentley is unhappy because I'm happy.
What we need is a problem.
What kind of a problem?
It's got to sound serious, but it's got to be easy enough for him to solve.
You know, Ginger...
Hi, girls. What are you two plotting?
Plotting? Nothing.
We're on our way to the library.
Can I drive you?
No, we'll walk.
The fresh air will do us good.
I've got it. I'm in love with a boy who's all twisted up inside. A teenage rebel, full of rottenness, hate. He's beat.
Pretty cornball.
What do you mean, cornball? It's the latest thing.
Sure, in the books and movies. But have you ever met anybody like that?
No.
Neither have I. I don't like it.
How about this? I've started drinking and I can't stop. I've lost all my friends and it's ruining my life.
I don't like it.
You don't like anything. You won't let me drink, you won't let me steal. You're more of a problem than Uncle Bentley.
Wait a minute. Maybe the stealing has possibilities. And suppose you don't do the actual stealing yourself, but somebody you know is doing it.
How would that be my problem?
Well, if this person is somebody close to you, then it is your problem.
I get it. Uncle Bentley will solve my problem, and I'll solve my friend's problem.
Sure.
And that leaves only one problem.
What?
Who's my friend?
Hi, Kelly. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, darling. Hey, I said hello.
Oh, hello.
Something wrong, dear?
No, nothing.
Seems so quiet. Is everything all right at school? You feel all right?
It's nothing physical, Uncle Bentley. I wish it were.
Dear, is it something you'd like to talk to me about?
Oh, Uncle Bentley!
What you do to her now?
What is it, darling? What's wrong?
I can't talk about it.
Can't be that bad. Something I've done?
No,
Something I haven't done?
it's not you, Uncle Bentley. Honestly, it isn't. It's just something I have to work out by myself. No one can help me with it, not even you.
All right, dear, if that's the way you feel about it.
But maybe you ought to try.
All right, I'll try. What is it?
Well, there's this boy I know, and I like him very much.
Oh?
And I found out something about him.
Yes.
He's a kleptomaniac.
Kleptomaniac. Now, darling, that's a very serious thing to say about anybody.
He's a very serious kleptomaniac.
Who is he?
Howard.
Howard? Now, when will he find time to steal? He's always eating.
That's how he started, stealing food. Then he went on to bigger things. He just can't help himself.
Howard, huh?
Isn't it awful, Uncle Bentley? What can we do?
Oh, don't worry, dear. I'll think of something. Maybe For a while, though, you better not see Howard.
All right.
Glad you told me about this. That's what I'm here for. It's important to tell parents things. Sometimes they can be helpful. Honey, does Howard's family know about this?
Oh, no. He never steals anything at home. He's too clever. And thanks a lot, Uncle Bentley. You've solved the whole problem.
Yes, but have I?
Of course you have.
No, I haven't. Have Howard here tomorrow. I want to talk to him.
Talk? But Howard never talks about this.
Don't worry, dear. I'll handle it carefully. I may not know much about algebra, but I do know quite a bit about abnormal psychology. Howard. Always knew there was something peculiar about that boy. I could tell from his haircut.
Howard, come on in. What are those for?
Oh, crooks always wear them.
Don't be silly. Just act like you can't help yourself.
I guess I won't need these either. The sandpaper's for my fingers. I read somewhere that crooks sandpaper their fingers.
Don't be silly.
Hello, Howard.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gregg.
How are you feeling, Howard?
Oh, fine.
Good. Why don't you sit down? Sit down, huh? Lovely afternoon. Well, you planning on doing anything today that I'm interfering with, dear?
No.
Nice just to sit around and talk, though, isn't it? Howard and you are in the same class at school, aren't you?
Sort of. Howard studies sciences.
Nice to know about Kelly's friends. I think it's important, don't you, Howard?
Oh, yes, Mr. Gregg. When you make friends, you have to be very careful. It's the little things that add up.
Very careful.
Howard!
Yeah?
Uncle Bentley was saying... What were you saying, Uncle Bentley?
Well, I was just saying, dear, that it's important that we get to know people. Don't you think so, dear? I'd like to get to know Howard a good deal better. Amazing how long we know each other, and yet we really know so little about each other. Howard, you're pretty well built. Do you ever play football?
Yeah, I'm a halfback.
Well, were you ever hurt, like kicked in the head?
No, I had a toothache once, but it went away.
Oh, well, see, I don't mean to probe, but in general, yourself, about your family, your school, social life. Human behavior is very funny. Sometimes manifestations that you don't quite comprehend. What I mean to say was that sometimes we do things and we don't know quite why we do them. Do you understand, Howard?
Oh, I understand, Mr. Gregg.
Uncle Bentley, you haven't met Howard's sister Elaine, have you?
No, I haven't. How are things at home, Howard?
Oh, fine. We have our ups and downs, but we take things as they come.
Your sister, too?
Well, sure. But things have been fine since we moved down here. I like San Jose, though. It's a shame we had to leave.
Had to leave?
Yes, sir.
Well, why did you have to leave, Howard? Was it because you felt people were hostile toward you?
No, sir.
Were you sure you weren't feeling persecuted? Why did you leave? Why? You can tell me. Why did you have to leave?
My sister got a better job down here.
Well, you were pretty lucky, though, that you had to go. It's better that...
Nice TV set you have here, Mr. Gregg.
Well, it's very old. The picture tube was almost shot. You wouldn't like it, Howard.
Well, I guess I better be going. I promised my sister I'd pick up a few things at the drugstore.
I'll bet. Excuse me, Howard. Can I speak to you, please, dear?
Excuse us, Howard. Isn't it pitiful, Uncle Bentley?
Sad, really.
I'm glad you talked to him.
Well, I'd like to continue to talk to him, but I don't think we can afford it. Wherever he goes today, you stick right with him, huh? In his frame of mind, anything could happen. He might get into trouble.
What are you going to do, Uncle Bentley?
Well, I think I'm going to talk to his sister.
Talk to his sister?
Look, now you run along while we still have our TV set. Buy him a soda or something. Keep him busy. Well, you two run along, and I'll see you a little later.
Well, how'd I do?
I'm Kleptomaniac, you are.
What's up?
Shh, just follow me. Come on, let's put them back. What'd you have to take so many for?
Come in. I'll be right down, Mary. I want you to fix the blue gown, and I have a couple of skirts I'd like you to alter for me. Here they are.
Oh, Miss Meacham?
Yes?
Howard, sister?
Yes?
Well, hello, I'm Bentley Gregg.
Who?
Kelly's uncle.
Oh, Mr. Gregg. Oh, Howard's told me so very much about you.
Well, he hasn't told me nearly enough about you.
I thought you were my dressmaker.
The charming place you have here, Miss Meacham. This is lovely.
Yes, isn't it? Howard gave it to me.
Oh?
He's very thoughtful, you know.
Did he also give you this?
Always bringing little things home.
I'll bet. I've got something to tell you, and believe me, I wish I didn't have to.
Well, what is it?
I have reason to believe that your brother is a kleptomaniac.
A what?
Kleptomaniac. Compulsive stealer.
Oh, I know what it means, Mr. Gregg, but Howard, a kleptomaniac?
Believe me, it's true. He went through my living room today like a vacuum cleaner. He'd have taken the rug if it hadn't been nailed down.
Mr. Gregg, are you sure you know what you're saying?
Now, Miss Meacham, I'm a lawyer. I tried to be careful of the statements I make.
This is terrible.
Well, it's not so bad. Kleptomania isn't a crime. It's an illness. And I'm sure with the proper treatment that Howard's condition will be arrested. It better be before he is.
Mr. Gregg, you've made some pretty wild statements. Don't you think that we ought to discuss this in front of Howard?
All right. They've gone down to get a soda, but they're probably back at my house now.
I'll get my coat.
Tell you, it's absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it. He just swept everything right off this coffee table. There was a cigarette box here from the bar associate.
Yes, Mr. Gregg?
I saw him take these.
I wouldn't be too concerned if I were you, Mr. Gregg. You know, having hallucinations isn't a crime. It's an illness. Like foot-in-mouth disease.
I could be mistaken about this cigarette box, but I'm certain I saw him take a mask.
A pre-Columbian mask with red horns and a pink mouth.
That happened right in front of my eyes. I'm not an infant. I'm not a fool. I'm not a crackpot. You might at least say no to one of those things.
I feel like another soda.
Hold it.
Uncle Bentley, you're busy. We don't want to barge in.
No. I want you to barge. Come in. Sit down. Sit down.
Hello, sis.
Howard, I want to ask you something.
Excuse me, Miss Meacham. Howard, I want to ask you something.
Well, the answer's yes. I took him and I'm ready to talk.
You put everything back.
Uncle Bentley, it's all my fault. I made Howard do it.
You what?
Well, it was kind of a gag.
Howard, I'll talk with you later.
But Kelly, why?
You were going through a phase.
A phase?
You were so worried about me, I thought I'd give you one big problem and cure you.
By making poor Howard a kleptomaniac?
Poor Howard. I thought I was pretty good at it. Well, I was. I fooled Mr. Gregg.
Well, that's because Mr. Gregg is such a brilliant attorney.
I'm sorry, Uncle Bentley.
Oh, I know you didn't mean any harm, dear, but you did have two people pretty worried.
I thought it would make you happier. I apologize, Howard.
Take her to see Across Africa by helicopter tomorrow night. Then I can take Kelly to Ginger's party.
Howard, really?
Howard, man to man, you're a very magnanimous kleptomaniac. Hi, honey.
Uncle Bentley,
Yes?
if X minus Y equals 22...
Oh, no, you don't. The only mathematical equation I know is once equals enough. No, darling, no, it's your homework. You're going to have to work it out by yourself. Besides, I have some very important homework of my own. Have I told you that you are without a doubt the loveliest sister of any kleptomaniac that I have ever met?
Coming up, Eddie Albert and Eva Gabor in Green Acres.
And tonight at 11 Eastern, an elusive Laurel lookalikes involved in a deadly game on the late night Remington Steele, only here on CBN.